there's nothing to warm the heart of a crow eater quite like watching Victorians eat crow. Over the next 90 minutes, you'll see 3 quarters that will tug the heartstrings. A couple of years ago, the slogan at Footy Park was "Kick a Vic." Well, they certainly get kicked in these 3 games from the early 80s, with the young Bradley and Kernahan through to the stars of today. Our first game comes from 1983. Bob Hammond coaching South Australia and getting his team away to a perfect start against David Parkin's Victorians.
17-11 South Australia, Victorian 13-12 as we pick up the final quarter here at Football Park in the big interstate clash. Rendell against Mossop. Mossop gets the tap away. Ace gets it out. Schimmelbusch, South Australia into attack through their captain and Russell Ebert. Ebert up to the half-forward right flank. Naily back there. Elphinston, however, gets the handball away. It's not all that good. It went straight to Motley. He heads towards goal, puts it in the air, gives it a chance. Goal! A mistake by the Victorian defence. Motley's second goal, and the Crow Eaters off to a great start in the final quarter.
No doubt the Vic's in trouble. Elphinston had plenty of room then. He held onto the ball a fraction too long. The tackle came, the handball intercepted by Motley, and the rest a formality. South Australia 18-11, Victoria 13-12.
The South Australian bench having their fingers crossed. Can they do it? At the centre bounce. Rendell and Mossop again. It's been a tremendous duel. Smith goes through, leaves the football behind. Schimmelbusch gets it out wide to Bradley. Bradley in turn wants Craig. South Australia into attack. A long one up towards McAdam. 20 metres out in front. No breeze. A big chance for South Australia. A perfectly positioned ball just past the outreaching fingers of the Victorian defence. And McAdam heads towards the lake end. Kick number 9. Through the centre, his first goal. And South Australia forge ahead 19-11 to the Victorians 13-12.
South Australia again got it out of the centre very easily. The Victorians, as in the first 2 quarters, starting very slowly. South Australia a ton of pace, players running down the ground. McAdam, way out on his own, took a mark and kicked the goal.
At the centre bounce, Rendell and Mossop. Mossop got the benefit of the bounce. Out there from Craig to Bradley to Russell Ebert. Big leap by Lindner. Naily again. Slips out a handball. Motley, if it sits for him, he's in business. Full back line there. Desperate in defence was Cordy. Motley into the open goal, and South Australia have got 3 in 2.5 minutes.
Starting to look easy in the way that South Australia are handballing it out of the centre. They're setting it up with consummate ease. Motley had 2 chances in. The first one he got tackled. And on the second occasion, he kicked truly with his left boot.
Motley's 9th kick. 18 years since South Australia has won an interstate match against the Victorians on their home soil. Is day the big day. Scooped out by Schimmelbusch. Thomas leaves it behind. Craig Sockers. Schimmelbusch, he wants backup support. Quickly over now, Bradley searching for support. Doesn't get any, goes alone. Long in towards full forward. Copping there at the back of the pack. Coming through is Elphinstone. Kernahan. Lindner can't get it clear. Victorian defending desperately. And the umpire will bounce despite Mark Naily's plea for holding the ball. Umpire Rick Kinnear unimpressed.
I think the Vics are shot. They cannot do anything in the middle. They can't get it out at all. They haven't got players at the drop of the ball. There's one they want. That's Ashman. That's his 14th kick. Searching for Cunningham, but doesn't find that player, and there'll be a ball in at right half forward flank for the home side. The difference now is 6-5, and we've only just opened up the last quarter. Mossop and Kernahan. Mossop edges Kernahan out, held onto him, and the umpire is going to pay a free kick to the home side youngster. He doesn't get a lot of distance with his kicks. It'll fall short. Copping can't mark it. The Vics swoop on it. The handball finds McCann. He's got a paddock to bounce into, and he'll bring it right down. He'll handball it over the top to Hawker. Hawker's been quiet. Flower gets past Ebert. Ebert didn't hold on to him long enough. Madden up high. No mark. Sheldon the crumbs. Marcoux and Danaher. The kick's away, and I think he's just got it. Pretty hard to tell. Vic's kick a goal, and everybody boos. Victoria 14-12. South Australia 20 goals 11.
Danaher's third goal, but what a magnificent dash down the boundary line there by Big McCann. He ran for a good 100 metres and finally set up the handball. South Australian defenders unwilling to go and meet him because the loose man would have immediately been created, but they did it well, and finally from the goal front scrimmage, Danaher's third goal.
Mossop and Rendell. Mossop got the tap down, but Ebert, who's played very well today, got there first. Bradley is smothered. Cunningham breaks the pack. Back it goes to Hawker. Hawker's kick is long, falling short. Giles is held and then pushes it through. Madden couldn't get back onto the ball. A point. Victoria 14-13, South Australia 20-11.
Kick in by Phillips. He started at centre half back and has gone to full back. Williams is off injured. Good pass out to Skubikla, who started at full forward for South Australia. He's been moved to a half back flank, and Kernahan has gone to full forward and changing in ruck. Skubikla chips the ball towards centre wing on the outer side. In front, Cunningham quickly swings it wide. A chance, Victoria. Ashman, quickly they go in through Marcoux towards full forward. Madden coming across, can't get there, thumped away towards Danaher. Back in defence, however, it's even. He'll go out for South Australia. Got no one to kick to. He's got to kick for the safety of the line and does it brilliantly. Will it bounce out or will the Victorians? It's going to set up for the Victorians. 3 against 1 here. As with the ball is Greg Smith. Oh, he's running himself into a bit of a corner. That's not the best kick you've ever seen in your life. Oh, he had a teammate there in Clark. The handball ought to have gone over. And he made a mistake, but brilliantly done, Russell Ebert.
Not good disposal from Smith. Probably thinking too much about his victory on Saturday. Kick number 17, Ebert. Craig.
Cramp.
A bit floppy on that ankle, or he might have the cramp. Rendell wants it. Craig will go long though. Sweeps the boundary line. McCann and Motley. McCann easily in front. He's had his trouble with Motley. Motley has kicked 3 goals on him. He's done a lot of other useful work. Rendell. Over the top of Danaher. A long ball, looking for Linda. Great mark, Linda. He's an exciting player. Bob Hammond's pretty excited too. Linda will shoot short to Aish. Aish holds his ground. Nayley is loose. Aish will try and find that player. He came in very late and then dropped it. We seem to have had a lot of football in this last quarter so far. In fact, we've only had 7.5 minutes. South Australia most of the attacking. In comes Linda. Couldn't keep hold of the ball. Players fight for it. Elphinston can't really get a kick away. McAdam to Craig. On to Schimmelbusch. A quick kick away. In front, Kernahan. No doubt about that. That was a good movement from Schimmelbusch. On the end of a couple of handballs, and Kernahan in front. Should kick a goal. Neil Craig has got the cramp. Trainers are rubbing the calf muscle at the moment.
Bob Hammond sent a runner out to him, Peter, to see if he wanted to come off, but I think with the chance of South Australia winning at the moment, they all want to stay out there, but they want 18 fit men.
Kick number 6, Kernahan. Through the middle it goes. 3 goals, Kernahan. South Australia 21-11, Victoria 14-13.
It was well done, very scrambly play in the forward pocket before the handball came out from McAdam to Schimmelbusch, and it was a perfectly positioned ball to Kernahan, who had the strength to mark in front, and the Victorian camp can still crack a smile, sort of. There's a couple of dull faces there, but anything can happen in football, but South Australia lead by almost 7 goals.
The Vics need a miracle. South Australia playing very confidently at the moment, and this is where it's happening. Rendell got it down, but Wally's took it away on that occasion. Keith Thomas, Mossop, smothered. He's very tired. Pushing it through is Ebert. Only as far as Marcoux. The Vics want a rush of goals. On a lead is Danaher, and he takes a good mark, but he's on a very, very acute angle, as you can see. Kick number 11 for the Vic centre half forward. Madden's way out of position. Couldn't have possibly taken that mark, and it rolled through for a point. 14-14 Victoria, South Australia 21-11.
Played less than 10 minutes of the final quarter. South Australia have put on 4 goals, Victoria 1. Phillips comes grandstand side. Oh, not a good kick. Danaher with a chance. He's retarded. Through goes Flower, and Danaher's down. He's looking a bit jaded, as well the Victorians might, having all played on Saturday. Throw in, half forward right flank, almost into the pocket. Mossop, who's put on a superlative performance, shrugging clear Victoria's Wilson, gets it over to Hawker. He gave it to himself. Marcoux loses it. A chance now for Spivicka to come away for South Australia. He's caught on the left leg, underground one. That's a shocking kick. Gives Smith the opportunity. Smothered off the boot well by Michael Aish. Back to Hawker, high to the half-forward line. All South Australia there. Almost a mark to Kernahan, and it has been paid, either that or the free kick. Stephen Kernahan, that centre half back. Russell Ebert goes to the outer side. That's a beautiful pass if it sets. Phillips back pedals to Whittlesea, but he's well clear. The Victorians can't raise the gallop. Smith trying to get across there. A long kick by Whittlesea up towards the half-forward line. All Victoria back there. McCann almost. Motley across to Bradley. Heads for the big white woodwork, and he's got another one. Beautifully done. His 4th goal, Bradley. And once he's in flight, he is brilliant. 3rd goal, Bradley, and South Australia 22-11, Victoria 14-14.
Set up from a fine kick from Russell Ebert when he put it wide to Phillips. Down the ground it went. 2 Victorians trying to outmark each other. It came out to Bradley with his 11th kick. He kicked his 3rd goal. Well beaten early, Bradley, but he's come back with a vengeance.
11 minutes into the final quarter. South Australia by 45 points. Mossop again gets the thump away, but South Australia continue to read the ball well, and this time Aish has got pinged for holding the ball. Free kick to Greg Smith, who puts him into attack to the half-forward right flank. So the Bickler over the top, spoils. Quickly in for the ball is Marcoux. Getting through was Rawlings, Collard, nearly in trouble. Kang goes out of it well, gives Thomas the opportunity. He'll grub a one to Craig, recovered from the cramp. A long one to the half-forward line. Getting back there and taking a strong mark in defence is Serafini.
Laurie Serafini had some big problems today at fullback and in the back pocket. Finds Rawlings, down he goes. Nothing much in that. 15 metres is the result against Stephen Copping. Barry Rawlings. It's been a big kick getter for the Vics, 17. In fact, centre half forward, the ball comes to the ground, they're in trouble. Giles to McAdam, back to Aish. The home side running again. Not a good kick, fell short into the waiting hands of Moss, the former South Australian. The kick away finds Smith. The handball further to Cordy. On again to Stephen Ick. The Vic's doing a bit of running now. Laurie Serafini. Not a good kick to Madden. Phillips swings it back to Riley. He'll go short to Aish. And Aish will probably hold things up for a while. He wants 15 and gets it, then he plays it on. Kernahan will swing it to Sneebickler. A bit of backpedaling. Short, not a good kick. He wanted McAdam. McAdam gets run over stupidly by McCann. And you almost get the feeling, Ian, that the Vics are either very frustrated or they've given up.
I think frustration, Peter, certainly, but borne out by tiredness, and we've got to give them their dues. They have played 2 games in 3 days, but taking nothing away from South Australia at all. They've played superbly. Elphinston's kick is not good. Play on. Back here towards McAdam. Uses his pace. Watch support. Gets the handball away. Copping quickly across to Michael Aish. Into the open goal goes the Crow-Eaters, and another one on the board. Michael Aish's 2nd goal. 23-11 South Australia. 14-14 Victoria.
Well, the last couple of minutes we've seen some pretty strange movements by some Victorian players. McCann's push in the back was agricultural, to say the least. A couple of other of their movements have looked extremely tired. By contrast, South Australia ran through half forward with consummate ease.
Jeff Motley's even allowing himself a smile. We've still got 13 minutes to go. He hasn't had a smile on his face for 18 years. Marcoux gets it out wide. Brilliantly read by Whittlesey. The kick is not all that good. Too far, however, for McCann. Coming across is Cordy. He goes to the outer side, but it's not well directed. Kick and taken by Craig Bradley on the outer side. Craig Bradley, an under-19 Australian cricketer. Kick number 12. Has got 3 goals with those 12 kicks as he kicks in towards full forward, and Motley in front of the pack. What a fine mark. Oh, he's coming across the copping, put him up a bit. Greg Smith there does the spoiling, and Victoria coming out of defence. Platten can't run him down. In towards centre wing, getting back on his tops. Close to the line. Swings out a handball. Giles, a long one. Towards full forward. McIntosh almost. Platten. With him there is Neil Clark. Platten on the line, wants support. Motley quickly across now. Copping loses it the first time, gets it the second time. Rubs it out Motley. Back it comes to Craig. No, it's Ace. Well wide out here is McAdam, and that's the way the ball will travel. And McAdam has got it 40 metres out right in front. And at the moment, South Australia running rings around a very tired Victorian defence. Greg McAdam chips away at goal. That has gone well offline, and a point to the South Australian run-on player. And they move on now to 23-12, Victoria 14-14.
Yeah, South Australia have got free players everywhere at the moment. The Vicks bring it out of defence to Smith, Greg Smith. He hasn't played well. Lucky to get a free kick then for a high tackle. It was very technical. It's 15 metres as well. Well, not a good kick. It found a player, but it wobbled off the boot. That's Danaher, Terry Danaher. Looks for Madden. He's very tired. Riley breaks clear, gives it to Phillips. Freedom everywhere for South Australia. Bradley, he's finessing, which is something one shouldn't do in situations like this. Even long to Phillips. Phillips to Nayley. Nayley's a runner. He swings it to centre half forward with his 9th kick. Ace couldn't take the mark. Rawlings gave it across to Serafini. A mishandle by Flower, but he recovered well. Then he takes off, as only Robbie Flower can. Over to Marcoux. Marcoux will swing it further to Danaher. Back to Flower. Flower will put it over to Ashman, but put him in trouble. Holding the ball. Oh, they can't take a trick, the Vicks. Riley plays it on to Kernahan. Kernahan lets it go to Russell Ebert.
Oh, look at this down the outer side, Peter.
Oh, it's a pad again. They can go all the way without seeing a Victorian, let alone confronting one. Nayley will take off like a man possessed. Short to Linder. And it's a procession. Bob Hammond is the coach, and he would be elated. He mightn't look like it, but his insides would be bursting with laughter at the moment. And he'd be pretty proud of the way the South Australians have played too. Right from the word go, they've set it up. The Vicks have tried hard to get back into it, but about 3 goals was as close as they got. This is Linda's 9th kick. That won't come back, a point only. Simon Madden comes off, he's replaced by Hawker. South Australia 23-13 to Victoria, lamenting at 14-14.
Mossop short. Ashman further afield. There's 3 Victorians to 1 South Australia. McCann got up but couldn't stop the mark there by Cordy. Ashman again under pressure. It's the second time he's been collared when the handball's gone to him. Danaher under pressure again. Well done there, Sheldon. Out wider now to Hawker, but the handball wasn't good. Kept it in play. Robert Flower. He can shrug the tackles easily. Sets it up now. Marcoux chips it out towards full forward. Phillips back in defence. Makes a strong mark. Ebert provides the run. Greg Smith's got to go and get him. 34 years of age. Smith can't catch him. Kick number 20 to Russell Ebert. And he kicks long towards the vacant half forward flank. But the umpire said this one's out of bounds on the full. And a very tired Stephen McCann going back to take his penalty kick. McCann, in fact, is at centre wing when he takes his kick. Chips away short. Cunningham. The running player Sheldon through the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Victoria now with a long kick in towards full forward. Getting back there was Wilson. Wilson can't quite get it. South Australia tapped out cleverly Phillips. Sheldon a chance, handball straight into Riley, and South Australia will come away again. Once again, we see no one at home at centre wing except South Australia. Ebert can run from Paddock.
21 kicks, Russell Ebert. He's played a fine game. Motley ran past the ball. Barry Rawlings, one of the Victorians' better players. McCann to Cunningham. The crowd's still not wrapped in Cunningham for something he did earlier. There wasn't too much in it. Danaher. He's been pretty useful too, Danaher. Kick to the other side of the ground, not a good kick. Nailey for South Australia, tackled, back to Bradley. 2 South Australian players loose. Take your pick. That's Gary McIntosh. He wants Russell Ebert. Ebert provides the support. Linda behind, a big leap. No mark. Coming out McAdam, he got the kick away over the shoulder, but it's offline for a point. We're at the 20-minute mark. South Australia leading by 9 goals, and I think the Vics want to think about these games in the future. I don't think they can play 2 games in 3 days. It's pretty obvious.
Stephen Eck, centre half back, drives long to the lead of Smith on the outer side. Getting there first, Giles. Tackled by Smith is good, holding the ball. And Sheldon wants to bolt off, but the free kick. No, go to South Australia for a push in the back. And we see Bob Hammond calling for another interchange as Giles gets his kick towards the half-forward line. Serafini couldn't. Quickly, it's Russell Ebert looking pretty tired himself. Finds Lindner. Took the handball well, and Lindner has got it. McIntosh was the player that set it up, and Lindner's got it 25 metres out. And we see Mark Nailey coming off, put in a good performance for South Australia. Schimmelbusch going back into the fray, but at the 20-minute mark now, the Vics will need divine intervention to get out of this.
Shouldn't say that, Ian. They might get it.
Well, Peter, if they do, they've earned it. Lindner has kicked 3 goals, and that makes it 4. 4 goals to Bruce Lindner, who got his chance at the last moment when 2 South Australians were ruled unfit in Neville Roberts and Bruce Abernethy, and he's done well for South Australia with his 4 goals, 24-14 to 14-14.
The ageless Russell Ebert has done a lot of attacking down that outward flank, and Lindner ended up with that one, and the goal was pretty simple. South Australia by 10 at the moment. The Vics desperate for that siren to go.
South Australia would like to go until 6 o'clock until the Channel 7 news, Peter, I feel sure. Half-forward line. Here's a chance, Michael Aish. He kicks out wide. Cunningham, he's done well on this occasion, though. Giles does it better. Gives a chance. Bradley. Rawlings can't quite get there. Bradley might need backup support. He's got Michael Aish. That's the way the ball travels, and he'll find Giles, who's butted up well, kept on running, and created the loose man on the half-forward line, and he in turn will find Keith Thomas. Thomas tries to get round Quaddy and goes in towards the big fella. McIntosh, another goal to South Australia, and they're doing it oh so easily. 25 on the board for the Crow Eaters, and they're getting something back for their 18 years in the wilderness.
Well, the home side has got a lot of players over in Victoria playing now. They've only got 3 of them back today. That's Rendell, Phillips and Copping. So there hasn't been a great contribution from that section. There's Bob Hammond, and before it was Hayden Bunton. But it's a drubbing, an absolute drubbing here today. South Australia 11 up at the moment, and it's almost embarrassing.
Mossop and Kernahan line ball. That one, Mossop tries again to Sheldon to the half-forward line. The Bickler couldn't. Whittlesey can. He'll be joined by Phillips. Doesn't need him. Out wide is Giles. South Australia continuing to run. Rawlings could get there before Giles. Giles makes it just in time, but carts the ball over the line for a throw-in outer side.
South Australia have had a lot of good players. The Vics have had few. Very few. Kernahan behind Mossop. The handball to Ashman. He's been in trouble all day, Ashman, with his ball handling. He hasn't been the Ashman that we know, but neither are a lot of the Victorian players. I think Rawlings has done well for them, so has Robert Flower. Danner at centre half forwards tried pretty hard, but not a great deal of support through the centre. Gordy runs into trouble. Platten fights for it. South Australians still desperate. Comes out to Ashman finally. And the Rover kicks one forward. Over the top it goes. Robbie Flower takes it off the pack. Couldn't miss from there. That's his third goal. And the Victorian captain's played pretty well today with his 15th kick. And 14 handballs he's had as well. He brought up his third goal. 10 goals the difference as we approach the 25-minute mark.
Peter, I think your descriptive adjective, played pretty well, was a little bit selling Robbie Flower short. I reckon he's been brilliant, as good as any man on the ground. 15 kicks, 14 handballs, as you mentioned, and 3 goals. A positively brilliant football.
He's played well, Ian, but his opponent's done a lot of great work for South Australia too, in Keith Thomas. I agree, Flower's performance extremely good. Thomas tries to knock it away. Platten gets a kick of sorts away. There's McIntosh. He's a battler. Schimmelbusch will play it on. Searching for a player at centre-half forward. Cunningham into the back of Thomas, and the South Australians don't really like Cunningham that much. Kick number 14, Keith Thomas. Copping on a lead. Stephen X tried hard all day. Spoils well. Gee, the handball was astray. Young Motley's got it now, and he'll kick back to the teeth of goal. Linda in front. She's outnumbered though, 3-1, 4-1. Applies the tackle. Elphinston looks very tired. Gets the kick away. Robbie Flower marks centre wing. Plays it on. In front. Terry Danaher. He kicks into the centre of the ground. Mark Coo, he's outnumbered. Whittlesey to Craig. Craig's got Platten, but he decides to go it alone. Linda on a lead, up high. Great mark, Linda. Or can he mark?
I'll tell you what, Peter, I think there could be a few Victorian scouts around for this player after today's performance.
He's a top player here. They call him the president down at the West Adelaide Football Club.
Does not lack confidence.
He's a top player, all right. Bob Hammond still looks worried. I don't know why. Perhaps Bob always looks worried. In comes Bruce Linda. He's kicked 4. A great debut. Mark that down 5 for Linda. 26-14 South Australia. Victoria 15-14.
Yes, Linda, a very strong player, comes from the South Australian River Districts up at Renmark. Comes from a very big sporting family. His father is a whole family champion bowlers, and of course a relation in Linda was a former All-Australian in the South Australian football side. A great sporting name, but South Australia by 11 at the moment. At the centre bounce, it's going to be Mossop who gets the tap away, over towards Ebert. Picking it up is Rollings. He's done well for Victoria. Bounces the ball towards full forward. Coming to meet it there was the new player on in Edmond. Couldn't get it clear. Marku, Wilson ought to get the handball over. Victoria's goal here. Hawker into the open goal. Victorians keeping on running, but the crowd still not very charitable as he got that first goal of his. They still booed him as he ran through to put an easy goal on the board to Victoria. 26 goals, 14, 170. The Victorians 16, 14, 110. So a 60-point advantage to South Australia, and still Bob Hammond can't relax. Still telling the runner to get up there and make sure that South Australia really grind it in. 2 minutes of time on has been played. I would think there's possibly about 4 or 5 minutes of time on all top. Mossop gets a big thump away. Ebert went for a stock asile. Danaher through, can't get it. Big Mossop can. Puts out a handball. Ashman thought about Edmund. Out wide of Steel Flower. Could be goal number 4 coming up to Flower, and I think he's got it this time. Yes, brilliantly done, Robbie Flower. Victoria fighting on strongly, certainly won't quit. And you never expect the Victorian to quit in any case. Robbie Flower, a magnificent performance at centre wing. His ability to move the ball through the half-forward line is brilliant, and he's such a balanced footballer. His 17th kick. 26-14 to 17-14. Still at the centre bounce will be Rendell and Mossop. Mossop again too tall. Danaher. Ashman around the corner. This time Giles has got the opportunity. Taps it across. South Australia should go into attack here. Taking the ball away is Giles, kicks long in towards full forward. Motley coming across, gets his hands to it, can't complete it. South Australia on the hard forward line. Back there for Victoria was Neil Clark. Quickly out, a chance, Platten into the open goal. I think he's missed it. A good handball out from Schimmelbusch. But Platten not quite equal to the task. He's booted too. Normally he would get those on the run. 26-14, South Australia. 17 Victoria, 14 Victoria. Goes out to the outer side. Out there is Neil Cordy. I don't think the ball was touched before it went out of bounds. And Stephen Copping to take the penalty-free kick for South Australia. Motley leads into the pocket. That's the way the ball goes. And he takes... no, he doesn't. Fisted away well by the Victorian defence. And McCann, and the ball is out of play. Not McCann. Over on the far side there, Bob Hammond still hasn't allowed himself a smile. Maybe he will when the siren goes. Rendell. In Victoria's Mosk. Tapped cleverly. Copping. South Australia's Craig. To the lead there of Bradley, and he's got it 40 metres out. South Australia using the ball particularly well, and their forwards giving them every chance by leading. Craig Bradley. 14th kick, 18 years of age. He's had 10 handballs to go with those 14 kicks. Or I think the kick is just offline. Yes, he's just sliced it slightly. South Australia 26 goals, 16, and not one of the capacity crowd about to leave. They want to savour every last minute. Big kick in by Serafini over the outer side. Ashman, good mark in front of Platten. Midget against Midget. 15 metres against Platten. However, Ashman doesn't need it. Up towards the centre line. Danaher can't find it. Going through Giles. Run down. South Australia a chance. Craig. The handball across puts Platten under pressure. A wider one still looking for Schimmelbusch. But Victoria, there it is, all over. South Australia, their first win on their own soil for 18 years, have run out big winners over Victoria. 26 goals, 16 to Victoria, 17 goals, 14.
As Ted Whitten said later, they played like Victoria used to. In 1993, the game was played at the MCG. South Australia hadn't won there since 1963. A poor crowd of 32,000 reflected high ticket prices and a twilight start. But that didn't stop the Crow Eaters. At the last change, the Graham Corns coach visitors led by 8 points.
Right, here we go, final quarter. Interesting, Modra on the bench. From the bounce. Victoria to the half-forward line through Williams. Ablett caught behind. Salmon is there, his hand pass. Well, somehow it finds Ablett. He chips towards goal. Hannah may shove it through. Yes! Gary Ablett kicks his fifth.
He's just an absolute freak, Sir Sandy, that guy.
It wasn't a convincing goal, was it? Ablett was behind. Look, Salmon really didn't get a hand on it, yet Victoria capitalised. I mean, Luxnut's not running the South Australians' way in that instance of play.
Well, I think they're going to have to lift a certain percentage, the Victorians, if they're to pull their way out of this game.
Got it out of the centre well on that occasion. Jarman's at full forward for South Australia too. David Hines in the ruck, been on interchange. He'll be a bit cold. Grenvold on the ball as well. 18 centre breaks to 9. And here's another one coming up. Williams can't get clear. Grenvold tackle, but away for Harvey. In turn for Scholl. And Scholl kicks directly towards goal. Ablett can't take the mark. He's pushed away by Ben Hart. Wanganeen under pressure, but he hand passes to Ben Hart. Hart in short. The mark was taken by Harvey. There's a costly turnover by Hart.
Really vital now, 20 minutes left in this game. It's going to go straight down to the last few kicks. Robert Harvey, very impressive stats.
You can only put it up high, and that's Salmon in the square, so that's about, Salmon's on the lead. Get back in the square.
Harvey kicks to the front of the square, and it's a Victorian mark to the captain. Roos is marked.
Isn't it
20
interesting,
metres out.
interesting that Leslie's back on Roos. Now, Leslie started on Roos, was taken off the ground, yet he's got the job once again, and he's been outmarked.
Very important
Early
kick.
in the last quarter.
This goal will put Victoria in front. Roos kicks a goal.
That's his first, Paul Roos. As you can see there, Victoria 4 points ahead, 88 playing 84. It's a start the Victorians wanted. They've got the ball out of the centre of a number of occasions. A very slow build-up. Harvey indecisive. Finally just put it up hoping, and Roos was equal to the task and brought it down.
Two quick goals to Victoria. They lead by 4 points. Hines out of the centre. Leslie a quick kick towards Bradley and McGuan. Harvey, like a steam train. Roos takes it from Steins, down towards Ablett. It bounces off his shins to Hannah. Milhana's kick is high. It's coming back, but not enough. And a mark taken by Leslie in the back pocket.
Although Ablett's kicked 5 goals, Ben Hart has not been disgraced. Ablett is more worried about Hart than what Hart is about Ablett.
Leslie's kick back towards centre wing. Scholl takes it from Mark Harvey. It's very wide for Hannah. It bounces right on the line and stays in. Obst was interfered with. He'll take a free kick.
What difference does it make? They forced the ball 40 metres forward anyway.
Yeah. Oh, but it's gone back.
Can change direction. He's got McDermott if they want to change the direction. Obst.
16th possession for Andrew Obst. To centre wing. Steins, the spoiler from behind. Harvey applying good pressure to Tony Hall. And at the bottom is Nathan Burke.
Robert Harvey's been fantastic, Sandy, for Victoria.
Yes, he just runs all day, doesn't he? Steins. Oh, look at Jarman like lightning to McDermott. They want the next goal, South Australia.
Oh, he's being
Was Kernahan held?
He was.
Scott Russell. Sockers inside 50. Bradley and Hannah, the two Carlton boys. Bradley is legged. Craig Bradley will take a free kick.
I think Melham Hannah could have made a better effort initially at that ball. And there's the legging.
So Bradley has this kick to put South Australia in front. Kicking from 45 metres, slide angle, lovely looking kick. South Australia hit back, they hit the lead. Craig Bradley gets his first goal, and Ted Whitten looks stunned and drained.
Well, they got the numbers back there, South Australia. You can see there they outnumbered the Victorians. And he's a professional, Craig Bradley, playing on the wing with McGuan, covered a lot of ground. It's been a good battle between those two wingmen. Both have kicked goals.
Well, a beautiful kick by Bradley to give South Australia the lead. Away goes Leslie for South Australia. His high kick in towards half forward. No mark taken by Hannah. Harvey gets his kick away, goes for the safety of the boundary line. The race is on again. Bradley and McGuan. Bradley's little kick. McGuan pressure. Bradley's tap on. Scholl allows it to go over. And we'll have a throw in about 60 metres around from the South Australian goal.
Tell you what, Donny predicted a 1 point margin. He may be right.
Won't be far away. Ruck contest, Steins. Glenn Lovett kicking in danger nearly. Nathan Burke, O'Donnell. Space, yes. Harvey. Possession number 27. Roos knocked away from Leslie. The race is on now. Leslie and Matthew Knight. Still Matthew Knights. Now Wanganeen. Brilliant Wanganeen. Leslie. Oh, kick smothered. Hand pass smothered, rather. Here goes Knights. Jarman, a little tap on. Back in the centre, Bickley. The South Australians will go forward through Obst. In towards half forward. Chopped off by Harvey. Harvey's kick back to the centre. And the mark is taken there for South Australia by Hines.
on the defensive side of centre. He goes into the circle. McDermott's there and he pumps it long. Inside 50. But Victoria playing in front. Pressure now on the Victorian defence, namely Frawley and Langford. This is Scholl up towards Harvey. He just keeps on running. Possession number 28. Lovely kick. One behind. South Australia leads by a point.
A little disconcerting when you bounce the ball as Harvey was doing there. I watched the forwards down the ground. They didn't know what to do. They were static because they didn't know whether Harvey was going to bounce, continue on, and the rain's falling here. So that's going to make it very, very difficult in ball handling.
Obst from half-back to centre wing. Kernahan on the chest. Steve Kernahan coming up for kick number 10. O'Donnell.
Another poor kick by Kernahan.
Yes, I wonder just how right he is. O'Donnell, long and direct. Looking for his Essendon teammate in Salmon.
Yes, I'd get Salmon off good, and I'd put low on. That's a good move.
Russell finds the half-forward line, but it's chopped off again by Hannah. Mil Hannah takes it from O'Donnell. Still, the rain comes down, but it's only drizzly rain. McKay lost it. Jarman hasn't. He again goes to the half-forward line. No one able to take a mark for South Australia. Scholl defends, tumbling a punt back over the middle. Picked up beautifully on the half-volley by Wanganeen. He stabs it in towards half-forward. Now here's a chance for South Australia. McGuinness is just outside 50. He lets the left foot go. It's long. In towards full forward. Frawley on the last line of defence. Gets it across to Mark Harvey. He steadies. He finds the boundary line, but it's on the full.
Well, that's the pressure that the South Australians are applying.
Bickley. Again in towards full forward. At the back, Kernahan. But a whistle has sounded. It's a Victorian ball.
See, there's a clean attempt by, who was it, Grenvold?
Steins to Burke. Danger. Tony Hall intercepts. Can he kick a miraculous goal from there? He has done so in the past, but not this time.
Stuart Lowe's up at full forward.
Had a quiet night. Tony Hall, 6 kicks, 2 hand passes, but he's kicked 2 goals, which might be very important. Steins, look at his statistics. Short kick, mark is taken by his Melbourne teammate Glenn Lovett. Looking to break from the last line of defence, Victoria. Glenn Lovett forced to kick high. Out towards the wing. Good mark. Excellent mark by David Hines in front of Paul Roos. Hines for South Australia will kick them back to within goal-scoring distance. Well inside that region. Mark Kernahan.
Steins tripping just at the critical moment, allowing Kernahan to take that mark with no opposition. Look, Steins just tripping. And there's Kernahan taking the easiest of marks.
Well, he was quick to fall flat on the ground there as though he was trying to guard that ankle. He jumped and then very quickly fell to the ground as though he may be trying to protect the ankle that he didn't hurt last Saturday in a club game against Melbourne. He has the chance now to kick a goal for South Australia, which would give them a 7-point advantage with 12 minutes left.
Is he thinking about it too much?
Well, maybe. Shot for goal by Kernahan. He's kicked it. Kernahan's second goal, and South Australia lead by 7 points.
Yes, well, you can see there a Victorian coaching box a little bit perplexed.
Little perplexed?
Well, are you suggesting they should be slashing wrists, or should we have a change of selectors, Sam?
Well, I think Ted's just ordered a knife from the kitchen.
Stephen Kernahan on picture. Chris Langford.
South Australia gain the upper hand. Ooh, every picture tells a story.
So said Rod Stewart.
Ted is not a happy little camper at the moment, but there's plenty of time left. 14-12 plays 13-11 in a thriller. Harvey again, Robert Harvey. towards Ablett. Chasing is hard. Nathan Burke to do the shepherding work. Ablett shows him a little of the football, then gives the hand pass away. Harvey lost it. They've lost the football. Russell starts them running again, South Australia. Bradley through the middle. Just sneaks away from Scholl. Kicks in towards full forward. Was Kernahan held? No, said the umpire. Jarman is there. He's kicked one free goal. He's going to go and try and do another. In towards Hall. 20 metres out from goal. Hall is there. Bradley's there. A hurried kick is high. A mark. No one able to take it. Langford applies the tackle on Jarman. Was he held? The whistle's been put away as Hannah takes Victoria away to Paul Roos. Up on centre wing, and the diving mark is taken by McKay.
Well, they're playing like possessed men, the South Australians. Short to Hines. In turn Russell. Hand pass a little awkward, but gathered by Francis. He runs with the football, tries to get it for McGuinness. Eventually a free kick, and it's going back to Francis.
He has been a little quiet tonight, Tony McGuinness. Been picked up by Gary O'Donnell. Maybe that's the reason. But the South Australians, those ominous signs are there. They're getting numbers of the ball, especially around midfield.
And Francis well tagged by Nathan Burke. Francis just 6 kicks. This one slews off the side of his boot in towards half forward. Taken by Williams, in turn Roos, then Scholl. Scholl finds some space for himself and then kicks it high out towards the wing. Back goes McKay, and he takes the mark on his chest.
Centering kick for Leslie.
That's Roos's man there. Roos is down the ground.
McDermott's saying to him, just steady it down. Go long. He does. Kernahan's his target. Comes over the top of the pack. Russell charges forward. Still going, Scott Russell. He's got right through the pack. Sockers it on to Kernahan. Now McGuinness. Inside 50. Tony McGuinness pulls it round in towards goal.
Oh, he's being held, surely.
The umpire calls play on Don. And it's over the line. And Andrew Opp says, look at this. Look at this.
Exactly right, Andrew. I agree with you. We'll see this. Look at Hannah. He's got hold of the arm. Then goes for the ball.
There's the throw in. Hall couldn't take it. Short little kick. Lands with Steins off to Harvey. McDermott to Hines. 52 metres out. Passes. And Craig Bradley marks inside 50.
Oh, McDermott's had some very important possessions in this game.
Craig Bradley has kicked 1 goal. That was earlier in this term. But if he gets one here...
Modra coming on. Is that Grenvold going off for South Australia? I think it is.
Yep. If he goals here, it's going to make it very tough for Victoria. Craig Bradley from 50 metres. Well, the kick slews up the side of the boot. No one able to take a mark. Obst smothered. Steins. Harvey says, excuse me, Mr. Lovett, and gives it to Hannah. Again, they run it out. Back to Lovett.
So this
followed it down, but no one's there. Hines. Not paid. Ablett overruns it. So too Hines. McKay. Leslie does the shepherding. Illegally. Roos goes to ground. Leslie's lost it.
But this is where South Australia are winning. They're winning the ball around midfield. They've got numbers around midfield. And this is a Victorian problem. Actually, Greg Williams is coming off and Robert Scott coming on. Gary Lyons got the kick.
Crowd of 31,792 here tonight. Certainly getting their money's worth. In towards full forward. The long arms of Lowe.
That's the man I would have had on.
Well, he's been on, but Victoria just haven't been able to get the ball to him.
Well, that's right. He's only just come on for Salmon, but, you know, he's got a proven pair of hands. He takes more marks than anybody in the competition. And Roos is going off for Victoria. Stuart Lowe lines up. He's already kicked 1. It was in the first quarter. Not a problem. His second goal.
So Stuart Lowe keeps Victoria in the hunt. And again, the margin is 1 point.
Well, it's not a convincing margin, and they're not playing convincing football, Victoria. The South Australians certainly getting numbers at the ball, especially around midfield, and this is a shepherd on Roos. Accidentally, he runs into that left elbow of Leslie.
Bernie, as well as getting wet, Sandy, he'd have to be worried about his $10, I would think. South Australia through Chris McDermott and Bradley have been great contributors all night. Force the ball up forward. Frawley attacks the football. Hall over to Modra. Modra kicks to the front of the goals. Back goes Hannah, and he runs away from Darren Jarman. He backs himself. By gee, that could be critical. Away goes Hannah. A little kick off the ground, and Millum Hannah, you might be a little fortunate. Gavin Brown. Hannah again. In goes Obst. Obst is down. A free kick has been picked out of it. It may go to Brown.
Gee, this crowd's come to life, haven't they?
My word.
He really didn't have any alternative then at Millum Hannah except to bounce the ball.
Brown kicks it forward towards the wing. A big punch from Leslie. In goes Rock, but Bickley takes it over. The centre wing.
This rain a real problem.
South Australia lead by 1 point, 14-12. 1 point, 14-11 Victoria. Steins, McGuan dragged. Steins off the ground, gathers about 30 precious metres. Jarman nearly taken away by Rock, but it's forced over again. It's about probably 2.5 kicks from Victoria's goal. Andrew Jarman in the picture. Jimmy Steins, magnificent. 13 kicks, 16 hand passes, 18 hit-outs.
Anybody's game here at the MCG. Steins was looking for McGuan. Now Brown under pressure. He loses it. The misty rain continues to fall. Francis at the bottom. Kernahan. Hurried kick up towards Hall. Can't complete the mark. Modra onto Hall. Hall can sucker off the ground. Oh, and it spins and it spins. Oh, Harvey goes out on the full. South Australia will get another shot at goal.
Well, it's important now, Sandy, this rain is coming down rather heavily. The ball's going to slide through, so it's important now the players can run with confidence at the ball because it is going to slide.
Well, Darren Jarman has kicked some sensational goals in his time. He's kicked 4 tonight.
Here's the way he's holding this.
Check side. Well, he's bent it. He's kicked it. What a goal!
That's his fifth. That was a fantastic goal. Actual fact, I've never seen a player hold it across the body like that when they're kicking that wide. That is a terrific goal.
It's like a reverse check side.
Well, he's a very talented player. I don't think there's ever been any doubt about that. Darren Jarman, 5 goals. What a contribution.
An inverted check side punt to Jarman, and South Australia again take a very handy lead.
Victoria get clear of the centre through McGuan. He's kicked towards half forward. Nearly the mark to Leslie. Could be a free kick against Lyon. Holding.
Look at the South Australians. There's 2 of them out on centre wing. He's got an option. He can go short. There's 3 with Jarman.
He goes for Russell. Russell looking to give the hand pass away. It's Andrew Jarman. Nearly chased down by Lyon. His kick goes to half forward. No mark taken. Yes, it is. A mark to Harvey. Maybe he can make amends for that last kick. He kicks it across the ground into the centre. Scholl. Handball away from McGuan. McGuan with no one to kick to. His hand pass is okay for Harvey. Here go Victoria. Harvey gets past. Handball over the top. It still may work. Here goes Scholl. Scholl for goal. It slips off. And if that's a pun, unintended.
Let's go down to the boundary line. Here's Bernie.
Yes, Sandy. Paul Roos will take no further part in this match. The doctor was checking him out for a broken jaw. He has a big lump on the left side of his jaw, so let's hope it's not a serious injury, because remember what happened to Richard Osman in the State of Origin last year.
You're quite right. Out of bounds on the full. Time ticks away. South Australia leads. Russell has possession. He kicks to centre wing, a congested centre wing with a slippery ball. There's a bit of pushing and shoving and holding, and the umpire's plucked one out.
He has done that.
Steve Kernahan. South Australia leads by 7 points. Looking to be number 1 in the land, the top team. Tony Hall. Left footer into a vacant half-forward line. It bounces away from Hannah, who gives chase. Caught, but he gets a short kick away. Hall again. Loses it. Francis into help. McGuinness pulls it, centering kick. Bradley takes the mark. Craig Bradley will have a shot just 25 metres out, and this could well be a fairly large nail in the Victorian coffin.
What a fantastic effort it'd be if they could pull it off, because they had a hard game on Wednesday night, a harder game than the Victorians had against New South Wales. And they've saddled up again, come across here, play Victoria on their home dunghill.
Bradley. What a vital kick this is. The Carlton star drifts it away to the right. Victoria breathes again. 8 points the margin.
Victoria players huddling at centre half back. There's a break from Scott. Now the breaks are coming.
They're going to have to take some risks. 4 minutes left. The kick into the centre, taken by McGuinness. His kick towards full forward, nearly taken by Jarman. Gathered well by Langford. He kicks clear towards the wing. Good smother by Scholl. He gathered it beautifully in the finish because that was very awkward with a wet ball. Langford's kick up towards the wing. Punched away by McKay. Gathered by Lyon. He's going to have to do something freakish. He does. He kicks it into the centre. McGuan can run right up to 50 metres. Goes for goal. Nicky McGuan. It's close. It's offline and through for just one behind. 1 goal, 3 to Mick McGuan. Teddy Whitten. What can the boys pull out of the hat? Ben Hart to kick it back in.
Victoria playing man-on-man too for this kick-in from Hart.
He's had the job on Ablett. He goes short. Hines. Tucked in the back pocket. The rain continues. It's not heavy, it's persistent.
Rock coming off for Victoria. Rock off. Coming on is Ross Smith. Ross started on the back line.
Salmon, Williams also benched. Steins and Hines, the former Windsor. Brown loses it to Russell. Scott Russell on the outer side is out of bounds. Darren Jarman has kicked 5 for South Australia. Steve Kernahan has booted 2, so too has Andrew Obst. They're their main contributors. Whilst for Victoria, Gary Ablett has kicked 5. And it's South Australia who leads by 7 points. Steins had front spot. He's also got a free kick. Victoria's got to get a wriggle on.
Good umpiring.
Steins goes short to Burke. Nathan Burke, 21st possession. Victoria inside 50. Oh, Lyon the flyer, but he couldn't complete the mark. Socket off the ground by Ablett. Down to full forward. McKay is there.
No, it's a holding.
And a free kick will go the way of South Australia.
Well done, Wanganeen.
He was at the bottom of the pack.
He's a good player, Gavin Wanganeen.
25th possession for Gavin Wanganeen. Hart sneaking away from Ablett. South Australia just keen to hold it. They've got it on centre wing. Russell's kick finding Bradley. Well, what a critical stage to hand out 50 metres.
And very ticky-touchy too.
From defence, Craig Bradley is now going to put South Australia very, very deep into attack. He has a look up forward. Goes to full forward. Plenty of flyers. No one able to take the mark. Socket off the ground by Jarman. That could be the sealer for South Australia. Jarman has 6. South Australia are home 16-13 to 14-12.
Well, that's his second one off the ground, and that's the nail in the coffin. The high ball spills off hands. Pack fly. Jarman gets his foot to it. Behind the pack, ever the opportunist. He's kicked 6, and 2 of those have been soccer goals.
So with just under 2 minutes left, Mick Taylor, Graham Corns and
John Howard, surely they can have a bit of a smile now.
109 plays 96, 13 points. The lead for South Australia. O'Donnell bashes the ball clear. McKay, here goes McGuan. A high kick in towards the left forward pocket. No mark taken by Lowe. Smart was there. Gathered by Brown. Gives the hand pass away. Chance for Lyon. He's got to kick a goal. He can't. He kicks it to the goal square. Oh, it's off Ross Smith's hands and through for a rush behind to Victoria. 1 minute 32 left. 12 points the difference. Surely South Australia must win this game. Persistent rain falling over the MCG. And Ben Hart comes to the members' side. Marking contest. Brown punches it away. Scholl can't do much with the football. So a boundary throw in just inside the 50-metre line for Victoria. Billy Goggin. Ruck work. Lyon leaves it behind. In there is McDermott for South Australia. And it's locked in. Still within goal-scoring distance. Graham Corns has come out of the box with Mick Taylor. Well, they may feel that they can hang on, but if they can get a goal, Victoria, and take it back to the centre, anything can happen. Scott Russell goes for the boundary line.
I don't think they will be, Ian.
Wouldn't like a wager, Robbo.
No, I wouldn't, but it is possible.
It's the way they should be doing it, South Australia, going to the boundary on each occasion.
97 plays 109. Scholl on centre wing. Russell leaves it. Francis still working hard. Eventually it comes out. McGuinness pumps a left footer over centre wing. Gains probably 35 metres and sees it safely over the line. Cornsey can smile. How about this, boys, he says. Big achievement by South Australia. Steins down towards Burke and Langford. Hines juggles one. And he'll be in no rush. Thought about the hand pass to Leslie.
He's had 8 possessions since coming on.
Yep, spent considerable time on the bench. Kernahan slaps it down. O'Donnell, a hand pass away. McDermott trying to storm through. He's held it up. South Australia have been able to win at Football Park. The MCG in recent times has been a very different proposition. But they've done it this time. Scholl loses it. Still on centre wing. There it is. South Australia have recorded a magnificent win. Graham Corns, Michael Taylor, and they're the boys that have done it. Steve Kernahan came into this game with an injury cloud hanging over him, and Victoria cannot believe it. They are in a state of shock. The final scoreline, South Australia 16-13 or 109, Victoria 14-13, 97.
The Whitten medal going to Robert Harvey, the Williams medal for South Australia's best to Craig Bradley. 1 year later, it was back at Football Park, and this was a thriller. Victoria led by a point at the start of the last quarter, and it only got better as it went on. Not a high-scoring game as these interstate clashes tend to be, but a pretty classy affair.
Well, what better stage could be set here? A full house playing for the Malcolm Blight Cup, and the Vics lead by a point. 8-13 to 9-6. Start of the last quarter. Wren's big effort. McDermott couldn't quite control it. Scholl backhanded it. It's back into the centre square. Jarman was over the top. Darren Jarman squeezes a little kick out cleverly up towards Bond. Collins did a pretty good job on him in the third quarter. Bond pushes it forward. Burke and Brown get back quickly and hold it up with Hines over the top.
The intensity's been displayed already from both some players from both sides. The way they're going in after the ball. No one's standing back. No one's got the ascendancy as yet.
Mercuri had to sit and wait. He did it cleverly out to Brown. Brown away at centre wing. His centering kick up towards Harvey. Good mark for Shudo. He looked to be off. He looked to be away. He felt for Harvey. And now goes back over the mark. Now called to play on. Rashudo from half back to centre half forward. Hines' big leap. Snared by Mercury. Anderson's tackle was strong.
Wasn't he lucky? Lucky, very fortunate.
Mercury back into the centre. Brown, who kicked the goal late in the third quarter. Out wide for Calthorpe, running up for him. Ablett provides the lead. Calthorpe to Ablett. Smart goes with him. Ablett unable to do it. Hannah. There's loose men at centre half forward. Back to Calthorpe. Difficult kick for Harvey. Victoria conceding ground. Mercury held up by Jarman. A quick kick away, an important ball. Hocking couldn't take it with the one grab. Tregenza's little toe poke.
Gee, can't you sense how very, very important it is there? Right there, 3 or 4 chances for Victoria. Now it goes down to South Australia. McDermott's kicked the full forward, punched away by Langford. Ball there to be won. Neats and Hines. Langford making a contest. Hines has got it. Hines' snapshot. It's a goal. South Australia in front by 5 points.
And Darren Jarman is down. 2 Victorian players went in very hard. Harvey and also Nathan Burke up in the centre square. But here we've got Hines. And Darren Jarman's up on his feet now. He seems to be all right. Kapler's coming on the ground. Anderson off. As Hines goes in, that was a great goal.
South Australians all milled around Darren Jarman after he tapped it out to his brother Andrew to set it up. Victoria 5 points behind, 10-6 to 8-13. McDermott through the centre, Jamison. Tregenza, high ball, it'll be touch play on, didn't go far enough either. Brown punches a forward. Hogg's handball was ineffective. Calthorpe to Chris Grant. Back to Gavin Brown. McKay runs him down. Maybe South Australia are starting to flow now. McDermott to Platten to Andrew Jarman. Stops and props. Measures his kick. Kernahan and Langford. Front spot Neats.
Bruce, you can't do what Brown did on that instant there. He came back. He should have done the instinctive thing, which was go onto the left foot. Get the ball down. It's a real pressure game. And these guys have really lifted their work rate.
Big effort by Tregenza. To the pocket. Bond unable to get there in time out of play. Crowd going wild here. Curly Austin, Kevin Sheehan, Ted Whitten, Bob Skilton. The Victorian hierarchy. The board being worked overtime. Anderson off the ground. Francis. Neither you would think would return, particularly Francis with his hamstring. He's certainly out of business.
So the ruck contest, McDermott gets it to Tregenza. Tregenza's kick towards full forward. Little push, not paid. Modra off the ground's performed a miracle. Has kicked 6 goals in a wonderful performance, and South Australia now lead by 11 points.
Well, Stephen Savani was a good player in the third quarter because he was prepared to back himself in. Here he is behind, and when you're in front, you control the play. Look, Modra's in front, controlling play, first to recover, and that was a great goal.
Well, now the onus is right on Victoria. South Australia have kicked the first 2 goals of the last term. They force it forward through Jamison. Falling over, it's left for Hines. It was Newts who fell over. The kick into the forward pocket, taken by Langford. And he goes over. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Rod Austin on the telephone, down to the bench. So some anxiety now for the Victorian coaching staff. Langford doing the ruck work with Kernahan. Kernahan gets the tap out, goes to the back. Gatherers by Mercury. Mercury, you're in trouble. That was a throw. You were caught with one arm. That's what tossed it away with the other.
Gavin Brown did it. Mercury, the instinctive thing was to give it off and get rid of it early. Tries to do the second thing. You get rid of it in club football, but you can't do it here.
McDermott's free kick. He'll kick from about 60. Modra trying to provide a lead. Short to Kapler. Now he's a left footer. If he can get around Scholl here, or Mercury, he can't. He goes with the right foot and kicks it out of bounds on the full. So a let off for Victoria. Kapler with 1 goal, 2.
Boyd off and Cameron coming on. And where's Cameron going? He's being picked up by Wanganeen. Is he going midfield or forward pocket?
Langford goes for distance. Wants Steins to take the mark. Wren did it beautifully to Andrew Jarman. To Darren Jarman. Handball inside. McDermott to Wren. Wren's poor kick drifting away from behind, and South Australia are 2 goals in front. It's 11-7 to 8-13.
Kick in by Silvani, and he finds Craig Scholl. Scholl in the left back pocket for Victoria. Goes short. Dropping it home. Can't get past Hines, but got the handball away. Neeks goes to Scholl. Scholl forced to kick hurriedly. High in towards the centre. Great mark, Andrew Jarman. Look at this. The setup goes to Bond. And brilliantly unbalanced Andrew Jarman. Bond's kick, Kernahan marks. South Australia maybe look the more composed team at the moment. Kernahan gives it away back to Bond.
Where's Andrew Collins?
Bond for South Australia. If he kicks this goal in a low-scoring game, it'll be very difficult for Victoria to get back. It's a goal! No, it's not. It's a point. Bond to the Hines. They'll look for the connacht from the supporters behind the goals, Bruce, and they went up in the air in unison.
Cheering at home, weren't they? Scholl gets it from Silvani. At centre half back, the Vicks must get the next goal. To the centre wing. Coming in late, Harvey, giving away a free kick. Tregenza standing his ground, getting it.
Leon Cameron's going with Darren Kapler. Now, whether Cameron's playing half-back or ruck rover, looks like he could be playing half-back or wing on Kapler.
Harvey in trouble on the mark.
Yeah, he's in big trouble, Harvey, isn't he? That late effort on Tregenza. Tregenza wide. Modra the target. What a mark. Rode over the top of Collins, who was in the death seat, really. 6 goals to Modra.
Danny Frawley coming on for Victoria.
Modra goes high to full forward, wanting a Kernahan mark, big fly. Hog at the back under pressure, kicks away quickly. Bond's pace has been away for Collins. Modra's handball to Bond, still with Bond, should give it back to Modra, he does. Modra outside 50, clever to Ren. Oh, well done, Tingay. Stretch, just put enough pressure.
Well
Gets
done,
back
Tingay.
over the top again, Tingay. The Vicks are hanging on. Scholl's high ball. Andrew Jarman in the box seat, he's playing a game tonight. Doesn't he love it here, Jarman? 11 kicks and 8 handballs. Goes out wide, gets to Rashudo.
Rashudo is on the forward end of the square, about 65 metres from goal. He puts it to within scoring distance, right near the square. No mark taken.
It's a free kick. Free kick. Neitz is going up into the forward line. Frawley is taking Neitz' place. And here's the free kick. It's to Kernahan against Langford.
Now, what would the umpire be doing here? Has he lost the contact lens?
I'd say he's lost it. Yeah, he has for sure. Chris Mitchell with him.
So, pretty good officiating there. I'm sure the umpire's going to hand it to one of the trainers. But Stephen Kernahan.
This is very disconcerting for one who wears contact lenses and loses it, because it takes a while to readjust as far as your sight goes.
Well, does that make this shot a goal?
No, the shot should be all right, but just he's focusing when he's going for a mark. If he doesn't put it back in, he's going to be in a bit of trouble.
Well, here we go. Oh, it's a shocker. Right across the face, and it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick in the back pocket to be taken for Victoria by Danny Frawley.
Well, similar to the third quarter where Victoria dominated and couldn't put it on the board. The same thing happening with South Australia in the final term. Frawley on the ground, out towards Steins. Tregenza hooks it back. Silvani takes a chance, had to take the mark. Bond back to Platten, should have gone straight on, I think, Bond, because he had Modra on his own in the goal square and turned backwards, and the kick by Platten out of bounds on the fall.
Can't criticise Silvani when he hits the ball as hard as that. Goes for it, backs himself in.
So Frawley, the St Kilda skipper, who's been on the interchange until the last couple of minutes. Goes with a wide ball. Big fly by Hines, who's lost a boot. Mercuri's handball was ineffective. Ran over the top. Steins back to Cowthorpe. The little gift to Frawley. Frawley's kick under pressure, and Victoria are really struggling all of a sudden. McKay to take it from centre wing.
Well, I would say, Don, that since the start of the last quarter, they haven't been over the centre.
No, that's right, Ian, but the intensity is still there from Victoria.
Well, they'd need to score pretty quickly. We've got down under 13 minutes now. Good mark taken by Frawley at right half back. Short kick. Can he make something out of this? Gavin Brown is marked. Johnny Platten not prepared to give the ball back, wasting time. And down goes Frawley, but an ordinary kick. Just off the side of the boot. Good gather by Neitz. Handball over the top. Here's Calthorpe into the action. Gave it away. You're in trouble, Kapler. No, he gets helped out by Jamieson. South Australians are away. This man has had something to say about it. Andrew Jarman, one way then the other. Then gets that right foot away. Up towards half forward. And Kernahan takes a good diving mark. Handballs quickly. Platten, you're going to be caught, but he gets his kick up towards full forward. But Silvani stands firm and has taken the mark. Oh, my golly! Great mark, Brown, because they were in all sorts of trouble if he hadn't have taken that. He runs down the ground. Hines nearly got him. He's kicked into the centre, and the mark is taken by Rashudo.
Gee, Brown under pressure from Silvani's kick, and then Silvani not shepherding for Brown and putting him under pressure again. Rashudo long, Kernahan starting to take a few grabs. Russell back on the ground. Burke runs him down. Platten out of bounds on the fall. Dipper, what's the story from the Vic camp?
Unfortunately for Mark Huff, he has twisted his right ankle and it's heavily bandaged. I don't suppose we'll see him back in the game.
No.
Brad Boyd on the boundary line too. He's going to come on for Victoria. Let's hope they get him up around midfield. They need something.
Vics haven't scored in this final term.
Scholl coming off for Victoria.
Cameron underneath it, thumps it forward. Brown trying to raise a gallop. Boyd will get a free kick. Jarman manhandling him, and Boyd just coming off the interchange. Now, can the Vic set something up? Mercury takes it off him. Goes with a bounce. Frawley provides a shepherd. Oh, poor kick again by Mercury. Up towards centre half forward. McKay attacks it hard. Tingay can't break the McKay tackle, and McKay does it brilliantly. Gets it to Wren. Wren to Kapler. This is where he's dangerous. Kapler, Modra underneath it. Kernahan in the pocket. A running ball and out of play. But South Australia have got it just where they want it, deep in the forward line.
You mentioned Mark Mercury's kick being just a little askew. He had Jimmy Steins running in support just off to the right there. Tackles South Australia in this last quarter 7-1, and it really is showing on the scoreboard. Boundary throw in. Langford gets his right hand to it. Platten tries to carry it through the pack. Scott Russell's kick across his body. Goes into the square. Collins looking for a free kick. Nothing happening. He'll take it over for a boundary throw in. So in the opposite forward pocket, only about 15 metres around from the South Australian goal. 3 centre breaks to South Australia and 0 to Victoria.
Oh, well done.
Big tap out by Wren. Football underneath McDermott, gathered by Darren Jarman. And he squeezed a score out of it. 1 behind. 1 goal, 1 to Darren Jarman, but the leading goal scorer on the ground, Tony Modra, with 6 magnificent goals. And that crowd loved Tony Modra. Silvani goes in short. Mark taken by Calthorpe.
South Australia 14 points in front. Victoria still with plenty of time. Just 1 goal for the Vics, you feel, would turn this game around, because South Australia hasn't been able to bury them as yet, despite the fact they're dominating in field play. Jarman over the top, Mercury. Tingay out wide. Burke. This is about as deep as Victoria's had it most of the quarter.
Good
Adler.
mark.
Well, he's a thumping kick. He'll kick from about 70.
Nearly gone.
Will he go for a torpedo? He does. Doesn't quite get onto it. Falls to within 20 metres. Neat's outnumbered in the end. Wanganeen. Hannah. High ball. It's a chance. It's a goal.
How can you tell?
There is just absolutely no reaction here from the crowd as Mill Hannah
How could you tell the goal umpire ran about 20 yards?
has kicked his first goal.
And that's just what the Vics wanted, and suddenly they're back within 8 points.
Well, Neat's contest here. The ball to the ground. And over the shoulder goes Hannah. It must have only just got in.
So 8 points is the margin. Wren has dominated the centre bounces. Opportunity for Frawley. Gets it to his St Kilda teammate in Nathan Burke. Now away to Leon Cameron. Little kick by Cameron. The mark taken by Gary Hocking. Players running down the ground. He could give it to Brown. No, Hannah chipped in. Bit of a misunderstanding. But Hannah was good. He gets it back. Good stuff there by Gary Hocking. Goes into the centre. Danny Frawley, go long. He's looking down there for Neitz.
Oh, well.
Nearly got it.
Bad luck.
Tackle Mackay, got rid of it. Wanganeen's hand pass, intercepted by Mercury. Good work by Mercury. Away goes Nigel Smart. He gets his left foot to it, kicks it close to the boundary line, and it runs away from Darren Jarman, much to his disappointment, and goes over for a boundary throw in. And we've seen a couple of situations in that box where wrists could have been slashed at any stage of the evening. Kevin Sheehan giving the moustache a little bit of a touch-up. South Australia by 8 points, 8.5 minutes left. Gary Hocking goes long. Andrew Mackay tackled fiercely by Tingay. Good play by Grant. He got his right foot to it. Kicked it up to the pocket. Bouncing ball awkward for Wanganeen. He's left it behind Neitz. The kick was not on. He looked for Mercury. In goes Hogg. Shoots it here. Wanganeen should get a free kick. Not forthcoming.
That was a terrific effort by Tingay out on centre wing. He's done a few great things, Stephen Tingay. The little things that often go unnoticed.
11-9 to 9-13.
McDermott coming off 2 for South Australia.
Steins wins the tap away. Mackay had to go against the flow. Ablett's left foot for goal from the pocket. Goes very wide and out of bounds on the full.
Viney replacing McDermott. Viney going to half forward, being picked up by Brad Boyd.
Ablett with 4 goals tonight. Hard to bring it back in. South Australia now under pressure. Dominated the first part of the last quarter. 44,598 here tonight. Hart goes out wide.
High flyer Boyd.
Can't he get up?
About 5th in line. Took the mark. Away to Brown. Brown's kick across his body. Good distance. Up towards full forward. Oh, what a great leap by Nigel Smart. If you thought Boyd's was good, that one was better. Smart gives the hand pass away. That's confidence for you. Jamison short kick. Finds Tregenza. Mackay running beautifully from half back. Gets around onto the right foot. South Australia back into attack towards half forward. Frawley in trouble. Overrun by Bond. In there is Collins and he holds it up at centre half back. McDermott now on the bench. Champion Francis and Anderson are his compatriots to see the game out, I would suggest. 7 minutes left and South Australia lead by 8 points. Hines chopped off by Kelthorpe. He's been good in his first state game. David Kelthorpe. He kicks out to the wing. Hannah under pressure. Wren.
Well
you're under pressure. Todd Viney from Cameron, and Todd Viney held onto will take the free kick.
Should have been on earlier, Cameron.
Both he and Viney have had little part in the match so far, standing each other in the desperate last quarter as Frawley punches it over the line against Hines. You would think if South Australia get one more goal, it'll be enough. They lead 11-9 to 9-13. They've won 5 out of the last 7. Victoria won 5 out of the first 6 in the State of Origin clashes. This is the 14th time the two teams have met since that first one in 79. The kick
well
back
done,
to Mercury.
Hocking.
Good take by Mercury again, hangs on to it forever.
He wants...
Handball puts the pressure on Tingay and South Australia rip it away. Well, Mark Mercury has made 2 or 3 big mistakes in this last quarter.
He's just trying to do that little bit too much. He should do the instinctive thing and that's get rid of the ball. He just can't do it at this level.
Well, I'm sure the runner will go out to just say that to him, I would think.
It was a wonderful opportunity.
Well, there goes the runner now. We'll just wait and see who he goes to. Victoria
looked to be in there. Brown's lifted in the last quarter. Mackay. Hocking had a terrific first quarter. Goes to full forward. Big fly by Neitz. Wren Ablett puts some pressure on him. Smart, good take. Controls the kick. Gets to Hart at half back.
And the runner's gone straight to Mark Mercury, so I think he'll be relaying that message.
Kapler, backward to centre wing. Thumping kick. Platten and Hogg, they've been together all night. Frawley, fresh legs in the last quarter. Hines with him. Still with Frawley. Hasn't been able to give up the footy yet. His St Kilda teammate Burke bangs it back straight to Kapler. Takes a diving mark at centre wing. Crowd call for him to kick it on quickly. Modra's in the goal square. Jarman, that's Andrew lurking at centre half forward. Kapler's wide kick. Modra's going to have a long chase here.
And the ball is wide into a vacant area. Modra's handball too severe, or did Tregenza take his eyes off it? Silvani was terrific. Possession there by Grant was good. Tingay gets the rebound but kicks to a vacant area. No mark taken. But Nigel Smart, athletic, dispossessed. Ablett, he goes back after it again. Nigel Smart, brilliant. So was Wanganeen. Handball gathered by Jarman. That man is skilled. He's kicked towards full forward. Knocked away by Hogg from Platten. It rebounds for Collins. Collins under a bit of pressure. Gets a high kick. Close to the line. No mark taken. Kick off the ground by Steins is still in play, but Wanganeen is there. And Wanganeen bangs it back towards half forward. Good play, Cameron. Made a pass for Danny Frawley. Frawley's kick is a bit of an up and under to a vacant half forward area again. Nigel Smart. Well done, Gary Ablett. Milhana break the tackle. No. But he can get it away to Mercury. Get rid of it this time, son. He goes for goal. Mark Mercury. He's repaid us for the mistakes earlier. Kick the goal.
Well, there was some absolutely fantastic individual efforts from both sides there. Players from both sides. This is just a high standard game. Smart doing particularly well on Ablett. He's banging himself coming out to meet the ball. It just doesn't go for him. Good effort by Hannah. Now the first time, this is the right time. And goalward he goes, Mercury.
Remaining, 11-9 to 10-13. 2 points of difference. The Vics are coming home with a rush. Hines, good tackle by Hocking. It'll be Foster's Cup conditions if it's a draw here. Extra time play to both ends. And South Australia are 2 points in front. The Vics have come back with the last 2 goals in this final term. Kapler's long ball. Bond has been too good for Collins in most of their encounters. Just outside 50, Bond.
Well, he's prepared to play in front.
And he is a long kick for a little man, just 20 years of age. He's got Wren short. Drop punt right to the goal. Kernahan in the box seat. Comes to ground. Nathan Burke against the flow under pressure. Good kick under pressure. Kept it in play. Frawley overruns it. Russell back to Kernahan. Left foot had no distance. Straight to Langford. Langford thumps it out to centre wing. Hannah goes to ground. Hart misses it. Still with Hart. Tackle good. Back to Hannah. Hannah's been magnificent. Probably should have given the handball away first to Boyd. Boyd's kick. This is important to Mercury. He's got Calthorpe over the top. The Vics are in with a chance. Calthorpe the grunt. Swing it out wide to Tingay. Chris Grant goes for goal. Bad kick. Ablett out of position. Smart takes the back.
And Ablett hurt himself too.
Oh, what a great game of football. Sit on your seats at home. We haven't finished yet. 2.5 minutes left. And South Australia, composed at half-back, have the possession through Wanganeen. Gavin Wanganeen, a great game again tonight. Short kick. Running up from defence is Jamison. They may try and play possession football, but there's still time for Victoria to go down the ground. He's kicked to half forward. Mark is taken by Wren, not paid. Umpire's thrown the whistle away. Platten tackle. He's got the football. And the umpire will call for a bounce on the back end of the square.
Well,
in South Australia's attacking half.
They've really got to hold this up now. They can play possession football, and let's hope the time ticks away for them. The Victorians have just got to attack.
Danny Frawley a chance. Goes wide. Very wide. McKay can't take. Yes, a great mark in that situation by the boy from Lucendale. And the South Australian fans are pretty happy with that. He gets the hand pass to Jamison. Jamison goes down the ground with an awful kick. Possession important here. Craig Scholl, well done. Plays it to his own advantage. Good pressure applied by Kapler, but Scholl gets back onto the right foot. Kicks Victoria back into their attacking half.
Up to centre half forward. Wanganeen went without it. South Australia with the numbers. Hocking over the top. And it'll be a ball up. Gee, Scholl was good, wasn't he? If he'd gone to ground, the game was gone.
All over.
Victoria trailed by 2 points in a thriller in the state of origin. Rashudo's kick. Scholl running his heart out. Will it stay in? South Australian fans scream for it to go out. Scholl squeezes it towards the 50. McCurry taken by Knockbaugh. McCurry punches it forward. Still the Vicks go forward. It's at the 50 and it's going to be a ball up again.
It's not a place for faint hearts out there at the moment. They're going, a lot of them.
What a game. Inside the last 3/4 of a minute. The next play, the all-important. Hocking, can he get the handball? A chance for Brown. Brown goes for goal. A high ball to full forward. Adlet's there. Adlet's with a chance. Left foot by Adlet. It's a free kick.
Yes, that's a straight free kick, I think.
And there's no doubt the free kick was there, player being held.
So the free kick coming back. Look at Teddy Whitten, he can't believe it. Tingay goes, 15 seconds remaining. This could be the big play for the night. Jamison forces it out, and South Australia have 8 seconds to hang on. 11-9 to 10-13. We've had a couple of 4-point State of Origin matches. This is the closest ever between the two. Steins' left-hand handball off the ground. Burke's quick kick. Too late for the Vicks. Takes it at the second attempt. And South Australia's won the ball game.
Fantastic.
Well, it has been a privilege to be here tonight.
It's the best football game I've seen.
Just words fail to describe the effort that those fellows put in. They really did provide a top-class effort. It had everything there tonight.
It says a lot about the AFL competition when we bring these players together and in a one-off they can produce such a match.
Well, if you get, 22 guys in each team and they do what Don said at the finish, for the whole night they have a real go at each other physically. I guarantee you all those players there would have been wrapped. Victoria lost, South Australia won. Neil Curley on the boundary line.
Well, I won't keep you second, Mac. That was one of the best ever.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, who said State of Origin footy was dead? The crowd was fantastic. The game was played in great spirit. You know, both sides hard at the ball. You couldn't have wished for a better night.
You've been in some good games, but I've seen a lot of great games of footy, but I don't think I've seen a better one than that.
No, certainly. I mean, she was tight all night, and no one gave in, and it was a great game right till the end. It's a real credit to both sides. It's just great to be part of it.
Well done, son. Go to your players.